So the Game Awards are coming up, that event that we all love to complain about and is total garbage, is absolutely just one big advertisement. But you know what? I still think it's pretty fun. Because it's stupid. Just accept that it's stupid and just watch it because, I don't know, maybe there will be a reveal or something. Who cares? Point is, they just announced all of the nominees, and I don't know, I thought it'd be a little fun to kind of look at them and look at the Nintendo games that got nominated. Unfortunately, Nintendo did not have any games they got nominated for Game of the Year this year. I mean, obviously not surprising at all. It was a bit of a B year for Nintendo releases. I mean, you know, lots of great games, just they're saving like the really, really, really big hitters for next year, obviously. So yeah, no Game of the Year nominations. Fun to see Astro Bot on there. That is pretty cool. You know, I'm sort of skeptical that Astro Bot could win. You know, a lot of really big games on the list, but hey, if It Takes Two can win, all bets are off. Like, anything can happen. Elden Ring DLC is on there, by the way, and it's funny, you know, you got some people being like, what? You can't have DLC as a nomination for a full Game of the Year? But, I mean, that's the thing about Elden Ring. Shadow of the Erd Tree. It's basically a whole game. If they had just packaged it as Elden Ring 2, that would have been completely fine. It is easily an entire video game's worth of content. So yes, put it on there. I don't care. I hope it wins. You know, another one I want to point out too, Balatro and Animal Well are up for Best Indie Game. That's tough. That is tough right there. Fortunately though, both are also on Debut Indie Game. That's the funny thing about the Game Awards is they have all these categories, a lot of which are very similar, so that if it's ever really hard to like pick one, they can kind of like give one to one and then give the other one's kind of a gimme, you know. If Balatro wins Best Indie Game, well then Animal Well can win Best Debut Indie Game. It's all politics. So back to Nintendo and their nominated games. First, Pokemon TCG Pocket is up for Best Mobile Game. I really don't know much about the other nominees. Their names are vaguely familiar, but I know Balatro. That's the thing, and if Balatro doesn't win Best Indie or Debut Indie, it could win Best Mobile. Technically possible, so I don't know. Pokemon TCG Pocket does seem to be very, very popular, though, and is making a whole lot of money already, so I don't know. So then you have the very, very vague action-adventure category, and again, it's another one of those categories where it's kind of, they're split up into a few so you can kind of spread your wins out. You got a good number of bones to throw around. You know, you've already got just the regular action genre category, but then this one is action adventure. And here we have a nomination for Echoes of Wisdom. Pretty cool. All right. It is up against Astro Bot. So if Astro Bot doesn't win Game of the Year, it could win Best Action Adventure. You better watch out, Echoes of Wisdom. And then it's also up against the new Prince of Persia, Star Wars Outlaws, and Silent Hill 2. Yeah, I guess that's an action game, I suppose. A horror game can also be an action game. So yeah, I don't know. Between all of those, it's really hard to say. It really does kind of just depend on what wins in other categories. I'm not gonna bet on Echoes of Wisdom winning here. I don't know. Just doesn't seem super likely. Game Awards likes to play nice with everybody, so if anything, this just kind of feels like an opportunity to stick another Nintendo game in there somewhere, just so they can say they were nominated, just so they can say, you know, they were included. Again, it's all the politics of it, and it's all silly and completely pointless, but whatever, it's still fun. So then you have the best category for Nintendo games. This is the one where even if Nintendo doesn't get nominations in any other category, you'll always find a few in Best Family Game. It's essentially the Nintendo category. You know, most years they'll get something in Best Family Game. And this year in particular, Nintendo is dominating this category. You got Echoes of Wisdom, Mario Party Jamboree, and Princess Peach Showtime. Most of Nintendo's big games this year. Now, it is up against Plucky Squire, which I hear did not actually end up as good as people were hoping, so it's probably fairly unlikely to win. But then, Astro Bot. Oh, again, if it doesn't win in the bigger categories, I don't know. It just might take Family Game. I'm expecting more for Astro Bot. It was such a darling. I do expect it to take one of the bigger categories too. It could take both though. That's the thing. It's not always just this calculated bone throwing. It could take multiple. And honestly, if you're really seriously looking at the category, Best Family Game, I might give it to Astro Bot too. I don't think Echoes of Wisdom is fine, but I don't know. I think of Family Game and game that's really accessible and approachable to a really wide audience in all different ages. I don't see Echoes of Wisdom being like that. Mario Party Jamboree is maybe, but I don't know. As far as just really good, solid, anyone can play family games, I feel like Astro Bot has got them beat. So yeah, I don't know. So then next you have Best Multiplayer Game. Mario Party's in there, but the problem is, it's multiplayer game. It's always a really stacked category. Multiplayer games are all the rage these days. You got Call of Duty on there. You got Helldivers 2. I think it's almost guaranteed that Helldivers 2 is probably gonna win here. Mario Party games are fun. Jamboree is really great, but you really can't beat just the mania that surrounds a popular live service multiplayer game. It just culturally, it has such a bigger impact. And I do believe Helldivers 2 is nominated in other categories, so maybe it'll win there. But yeah, I don't know. I really don't see Mario Party winning for Best Multiplayer. I don't know. So then finally, this one was a pleasant surprise. Finally, we have Most Anticipated Game. And Metroid Prime 4 is on the list. Great. Awesome. That is a pretty highly anticipated game. Unfortunately, though, if you want to talk about a stacked list of nominees, you've got Death Stranding 2, which is, a darling among the Game Awards, Jeff Keighley, the Jeff Keighley community, big on Death Stranding. You got Ghost of Yotei, which is, Ghost of Tsushima was a really big deal. So that's very hotly anticipated. GTA 6, which is pretty much anticipated to probably be the biggest launch of a video game in the history of video games, and Monster Hunter Wilds. So I'm gonna give Metroid Prime 4. It's my personal pick for this category, but I'm gonna give it a 0.00% chance, give or take, of winning. Not the best odds, but hey, crazier things have happened. They haven't though. They really haven't. It's just not possible. I'm sorry. But there you have it. Those are the Nintendo Game Awards nominations for this year. Yeah, a bit of a quiet year, but think about next year. You're gonna have Super Mario Infinity up against Monster Hunter and all these other games. It's gonna be crazy. It's gonna be that's gonna be the one to watch. Maybe next year Metroid Prime 4 will win Best Family Game.